Guys, we have just disembarked at Seogwipo on the island of Jeju, and we're going to go explore what Jeju has to offer today. Look at this massive concrete tunnel to walk down. Thank you.
Welcome to Jeju.
What do you got?
Hey,
All right, there's our ship. Back end of the Diamond Princess. Our lovely bus. Thankfully, though it's very hot, they've already given us a fan. Did you get your fan?
I did.
Are you going to use it?
A moment.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. That is the Diamond Princess sitting out there at harbor, and we are on the island of Jeju in South Korea. And we have an excellent tour guide on our Princess Shore excursion who's telling us on the bus about the old diver women that are famous in Jeju that go out and get the seafood, and there's not very many young ones left anymore.
You're younger, right? 40? 60? Then should be very young diver, 50s diver, should be today's diver, very young, okay? Sometimes even over 80 something year old diver still diving because they have many years experience, more than half a century experience.
So there's some solar farms and some horses on ranches, and then we're going to get to the national park where there's this volcanic crater that we're going to get up and walk around. And let's explore that site. So notice behind me the traditional stone architecture using the lava. That's a traditional building here in Jeju Island. And we're at Seogwipo-si crater. And we're just on the rim of the crater here, which is behind me. It's a volcanic crater. You can see over the edge here, it's more than 100 meters deep. What we're going to be doing is walking around the rim of the crater, getting some views here high up on Jeju Island. Look at this massive volcanic crater. There's several of these craters on Jeju Island here. If you look into the distance here, you can see Mount Hala, which is the highest point on the island. It's about 2,000 meters. It's covered in clouds today. I was trying to figure out why these guys don't use some lawnmowers. So we had about an hour's drive to get up here into the mountains on Jeju Island. Probably pronouncing it wrong, but the town we're docked in is Seogwipo, the southernmost city there, where the cruise terminal is at. And our guide told us some interesting things along the route. One of the famous things about the island of Jeju is the diver women. Now these ladies are in their 80s now, and it's kind of a forgotten tradition. But apparently just the women dive for seafood, abalone, and sea cucumbers, and so on. And I don't know why the men don't do it, but the women grew up doing it from a very young age. And they dive for a minute or two underwater and then come back up and put the catch in their nets and go back down over and over for about 3 hours a day. Apparently you can still see these diver women on the island. And she said that all the Koreans work very hard. On average, they work about 54 hours a week. They used to work half days on Saturdays, but now they take Saturdays off. And they only get about a week, maybe 10 days of vacation a year. So they're very hard working, mostly because their parents basically had nothing. Korea has been war-torn for centuries, if not thousands of years. And in the early part of the 20th century, the Japanese invaded and took over around 1900 and ruled for 45 years until the United States defeated them with the Allies in World War II. And briefly, Korea was independent. But as we all know, there was the Civil War, which is communist North Koreans. Suddenly, she said, while everyone was sleeping, attacking from the north. And then the United States and the Allies, United Nations, fighting to end that war, which is technically still in a stalemate. So, the country's been war-torn for a long time. And to this day, there's the threat of the North Korean invasion. And as she was saying, they just want to be free. Got this trail here through the grass and some signs about snakes, which is interesting because it's telling us about how their traditional homes are only one story, made out of volcanic rock, and they like only a one-story home because of the high winds in the area. And they have a traditional grass thatched roof that they have to repair every year, and the problem is it wears out quickly and has to be braided into ropes to hold the roof down because of the winds. Then you have rats from the forest that come and live in the roofs, and snakes follow the rats so they can eat the rats. So you have snakes and rats. So traditionally they would get a black pig, and that black pig would eat the snakes. I never heard of pigs eating snakes before, but apparently the pigs go after the snakes. And they consider the black pork to be the most excellent barbecue in the world. So we were told we have to try the black pork barbecue. I've lost my wife out there in the fields. She might be being chased by snakes, we don't know. But they say do not enter. No drones, no smoking. And this is thatch protection, which this must be the traditional thatch that they use for their homes, for the roofs. So this crater is one of the wonders of the island, and our next stop is going to be a traditional Korean village. An old village built in the old style. And it's just hot here. We're sweating, hiking here in the mountain. But views are fantastic. We were also told that people traditionally for the last 200 years were not allowed to leave the island. There wasn't good transportation anyway, so with a 4-hour walk from the mountain villages down to the ocean, you were either a village person or an ocean diving seafood person. And one of the detriments here is they can't grow rice because it's so volcanic. Any rainwater soaks right in, and there's no standing water for rivers or lakes, so they can't grow rice, which they see as a big detriment, although they can grow barley and some other grains. They also like to have this blueberry. It's called the amida, and they make a kimchi with layers of blueberry. And traditionally it's considered kind of a medicine. And supposedly if you eat it, the taste will tell you what's going on with your physiology. So if it's sour, you might have something wrong with your diet. If it's too sweet, you might have something wrong. So they used it for traditional medicine. I've never heard of anything that supposedly changes taste based on your own physiology and using that to diagnose illness. So quite interesting. Hey. Did you see any snakes?
I did not.
I saw the sign said not to wander out into the fields.
I heard rattles.
Heard rattles.
Could have been insects.
So if you come to Jeju and see the crater, you'll have to endure the massive heat. You could be like so many of these ladies and bring parasols to keep from being roasted. So what do you think about the Korean people so far?
I've pretty much only met one.
Who is our tour guide?
Who's our tour guide? Seemed very friendly.
Getting off the pier, it was very much like being in Japan. Everything extremely modern looking and clean, and everybody very polite. We had to go through immigration to have our passport stamped, so they know we're here and they know what we're up to. We're always the last ones because we're exploring everywhere. Hopefully in the village, she says there's an old man who may give us the black extract of the mitaberry kimchi, and we too will be able to tell if we are sick or healthy based on the black extract flavor. This is a proper rain chain. And right down into the drain in the ground. Solid architecture here. All right, we are done with this park now. And we got to get back to the bus and head off to the traditional native village. So this is what they call a stone grandfather, and we'll get a chance to tell you more about him later. Our next stop is this traditional Korean cultural village where the government pays the docents to live there, keep the village in a preserved manner in a historical way, and to give tours to let people know about the cultural heritage.
Seogwipo folk village. In this area is all Seogwipo folk village. Traditional house is 300 houses. 1,000 people now live here. I am town master. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Very right hand job. That guardian is left hand job. Difference. This guardian is wisdom, smart. That guardian is strong, health. You have to choose only one to make your wish come true. You want is wisdom, this pose, take a photo. You want strong, that pose, take a photo. This is the lesson. We cannot have everything. After your decision, take a photo, okay? Okay, let's go.
Here, that's come out. They were the same as what we saw here.
Gate. This is a long time ago. Keep cow or horse from escaping. After use is gate and communication. Now one stick. At the house, children only. Parents go out. Come back home within 2 hours. Come back home. 2 stick. Early morning go out. Late evening come back home. Late evening, PM 5 to 7 o'clock, come back home. 3 sticks. Families all go out, nobody. Come back home, 1, 2, 3. After 3 days, come back home. After 5 days, come back home. How to? Make a 5 stick. After 1 month, make a 30 stick. No.
Yeah, that guy's a joker. He's telling us all about how they communicate to the neighbors if they're going to be gone, when they're coming back. Gate communication.
Yeah, please stop. It's 1 meter. But power is very strong. 1 horse can carry 100 kilograms. Very powerful. This is horse driver mill. Millet, bean, corn, grinding. All the kitchen. Now you see the cooking pot is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cooking pot means 4 family together live here. 5 cooking pot, 5 family live here. First, parents cooking pot. Next, married first son, cooking pot. Next, married second son. Married third son. Very small, our custom. This house is parents have 3 sons. No son, no cooking pot. Not married, no cooking pot. Daughter. Daughter is before marriage. Parents together cooking, together eating, together work. After married, go out. She get her husband cooking pot. Here only son's cooking pot is here. Jeju is a very special custom. Daughter-in-law, husband-wife, does not take care of mother-in-law. Each cooking, each eating, each work, all separated. So they have each cooking pot. Yeah. Only Jeju, Korea, Seoul difference. So in the jar, rainwater. Yeah. This silver glass is rainwater is filtering. Every morning carry the water jar, go to mountain to get the drink water. One day, 2 times. One time the take is 3 kilometers. One day, 6 kilometers. Don't worry, superwoman. So, Jeju women release stress by tapping this water jar and sing a song. And they gossip about their husband. Same. So, this is tea, drink tea. This tea is made by fruit, not leaf. This tea is very special. This tea has 5 tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, spice, salty. This tea name is 5 taste fruit tea. This tea is a very good effect on the eyes. Jeju old saying, you drink this tea for 10 days, you can see new world. It means eyes quickly clear.
The tangerines are their specialty here. So that was a native Jeju village. All kinds of interesting things to be found here on the island. So we learned that the strength is the right hand upper over the heart, and wisdom right hand lower over the belly. And we've heard over and over how very important the men are on the island. She says that the women get spiritual about these stone grandfathers and their phallus shape, longing for more sons and husbands. All of this apparently growing out of a lack of men, because of the men killed in the wars, and men then being treated like kings, women doing all the work. I noticed some of the Western women were chafing under this idea of the men being kings, getting to sit around and smoke and gamble and be fed, while the women have to do all the work. Men don't do anything. Women have to walk 6 kilometers a day to get water. What a cool village. Well, I've been noticing a lot of the electric cars here in South Korea, and a lot of alternative energy like these wind turbines you see. We also saw some really big solar farms. A lot of electric. Guys, we are going into the street market here in Seogwipo. All the seafood. Hello, fishies. Wow. at all the fish. Fish and fish and fish. Tangerines. Better. So we're gonna get one of those and one of these. All right, let's try this. This is a cream red-banded lobster, and then this one is fiery pork.
Spicy.
So the lobster was creamy and delicious, and then we'll try the hold it back there, spicy pork.
Really spicy.
This one very hot.
You weren't kidding, it's a fire roll.
Fiery pork roll, delicious. That's really good. For those of you kimchi lovers, here's your selection.
Beautiful fish.
Wow. Yeah. We've gotten very hot walking through the market. Unbelievable market. The seafood, fresh live squid, live fish, dried fish, all the fruits and vegetables, 100 different kinds of kimchi, snacks. We wandered into this really nice live wood table restaurant here, and we're gonna try some of their snacks and maybe get some beer as well, because we need beer because it's hot outside. What's a big cultural difference is the open markets in Japan, Korea, and it's all real food, meat, fish, nothing processed like you'd find in a grocery store. 4 little snacks. There she is, the Diamond Princess. So that's all we've got for today, folks. What a great day in Jeju. Let's relax now for a cocktail here on the deck. We're going to be pulling out tomorrow. We're going to be in Kagoshima, Japan. So that's going to be a great video. Make sure to tune in for that one. And remember, as always, folks, keep on traveling.